Hey, this is Elliot Wave Sage. I want to go ahead and do a market update. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Just use this for your education and entertainment purposes only. So I've been really busy and traveling quite heavily, and so I haven't been able to do a lot of updates. But I think it's an important time to do an update because I'm already, again, hearing people call the top of the market. Everyone wants to top tick this market. Everyone thinks they're so smart and they know that this is the top, and they're going to pick the top and call it. And they're going to call that shot, and they're going to lose. So unfortunately, guys, this is just another dip to buy. Just another dip to buy. So if we look at the Dow Jones, we'll start with the Dow Jones. Now the Dow Jones, I mean, this is an extended one, and we have 3, 4, 5, and we're done. Now, what's really interesting about the Dow Jones is, we have this nice little three-wave move today, which actually technically could bottom, but given the length of this, move, you would think this would go deeper and longer, right? And then a lot of people also are saying, oh, it's gonna crash, right? So I don't label this. I label this as a 2 for a lot of reasons. One, here, as you can see, this entire RSI cycle is being corrected here. But look at this. The daily, the 4-hour RSI is getting close to the oversold, which should mark the end of the correction, at least this first leg. So this is due to bounce pretty aggressively soon on the 4-hour. If we go to the daily, you kind of have the same thing. You have a trend line break, right? Even if I draw the trend line here, I think we just broke it. It's barely broke it today. So we'll see. Now, if we could save it tomorrow and bounce, that's good. But what the issue is I have with calling the top is at this time frame here, you have this too much divergence. You really need to end with the highest RSI peak. We really need to end. So this is not finished yet. This isn't finished yet. And then when you look at the weekly, and it's hard to see it here, but you actually also have a little bit of divergence right here at this peak. So you're not ending, and you really want that daily. You really want to see all that divergence erased. And so this more than likely will drop to 37.5, and maybe in a move like that where we get this bounce. But this is just another dip to buy. But this doesn't have to happen here. Like I said, it already has support on the daily at 4 hours ready, so this could actually be done soon. And then we extend higher in a 3, 4, 5. And then like now, if you look at this move, now we're getting to the point where we could break and negate the expanded flat, which would turn into a moon boy scenario. So very interesting here way this market's behaving, but I do not believe that this leg ends this move. I just don't think it's I just don't see it happening. It's just not the right look. The SPY is a little different. The SPY shows another 1, 2, but also another 1, 2, and again RSIs here. Let's go to the 4-hour and take a look. You could see we haven't even taken this peak out, so we haven't even seen the wave 3. So there's no way that this C leg is even near done. So this is definitely coming up here, which then that gives support to this coming up here. And then the triple Qs, right now we have a higher low, which means you have a 1, 2, 1, 2 for now. So this is the count. And again, same thing, too much divergence here, and then too much divergence there. You need to end erasing divergence on that corrective wave. And really the weekly, the same thing hasn't happened. So believe it or not, we are going to still have an explosive move higher, and before we can even start talking about this B wave being done. And then the IWM just back tested this breakout today of this cup and handle, and it broke in a back test, and it looks like it, you can move the line a little bit. It looks like it held, So we'll see if we can get that follow through. So maybe what Powell says tomorrow is going to be perceived as very dovish, the way the setup looks in this market right now. So that's how I would look at things in the market. It looks very bullish at the moment, and it does not look like the cycle is over, despite people wanting to, call their shot and end it. Bitcoin finally ended this impulse here. This entire impulse finished. So we're now in this 4 wave, which if you look at the degree, here it lasted quite a while. So this could be a lot of consolidation and chop here, but we should continue higher whenever this is done. Silver broke out like expected in the buy area, pretty much vertical price action, and I expect it to continue to go vertical. And same thing with gold, going vertical, extending. The dollar index broke out of this wedge, came back, and now it looks like it's ready to take a massive dump. This should be really helpful for the market. So nothing with the VIX to talk about. The 10-year is pulling back in this wave too. Like I said, this is the ticking time bomb. This move here right now more than likely is due for a bounce and then a failure of some kind, something like this, before we have to worry about wave 3. Now the other alternative here is that this is some kind of flat, or my labeling is off and it's a 3-wave move. I won't negate it unless it drops and breaks 377, but I do believe that this is a 2-wave. That some point will end, we'll go into 3, and then there'll be a lot of panic, and that's probably where the market really does have that crash that everyone's hoping for, because you all missed a move, right? Most of you guys missed a move that follow me. For whatever reason, you were selling the market because you were listening to the wrong advice on the internet, which I've always told you about. You have to be careful. So how has Q1 gone for us so far? Pretty well. Entries were here on the bottom of this megaphone, and we are here. We actually tagged the sell area, and of course a dump reaction, sell area, dump reaction, sell area, dump reaction, but the IWM did not finish. So I could have been tempted to say perhaps this is done, right? Perhaps if the Russell really finished its sequence, but this is not finished. This is, I mean, just look at it. It does not look finished. It needs to be up here. So it's not done yet, even though we are in these critical areas. This is, borrowed time, I call it. The market is, this is the time that you need to be really alert and paying attention to things. But I'm not ready to leave the market yet. But you'll have to do what's best for you. And I do believe, though, there's more upside to come in this market. Technology stocks, just real quick, Apple's been a big discussion point. And I mean, you could just look at where Apple is. As long as it stays above 165, it's still bullish. And in fact, you have a 3-wave move here, and you're in a buy area. So Apple is a buy. Apple is a buy. And if this is supported here against this low at 165, the market can't crash. The market just can't crash. Like, it won't crash. Like, if this is the case, and I'm not even labeling the rest of this. Just you're gonna get a bounce out of this, okay? And then it's either gonna go to new highs or it's gonna support the market. So the market, this is good. Now, if we break this stop, then we're looking at a flat. Then we're looking at a flat of some kind here, and the next target area would be a lower. It would be down at 157, 145 down here. But either way, whether it's 157 or right here, the move is almost over. This corrective move is almost ending. So either you're going to end the correction here that started in December, or you're going to end the correction at 157 that started in July. One or the other will end, and you'll get a nice relief rally or new highs. So that's just something to think about. In Tesla finally took this dump, and I've been telling you guys this B wave was coming, and here's a dump. So now Tesla is getting close to the buy area, 159, but ideally 142, somewhere in this area. So the markets can't crash if Tesla won't crash, right? So these are telling you something. Now Facebook pulled back in some kind, and it looks like it's finishing some kind of fifth wave for another wave 4. But again, it needs more upside. Facebook needs more upside here. Let's see, Adobe shaking out weak hands. As long as it holds this pivot, it's good in this 1-2 count. We'll see now if it loses the pivot, it's a connector for a move down like that, and then we'll want to dump it, of course. Nvidia finishing up this 5, but if you really look at it, it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, it still looks like it's still in wave 5 of some kind, and then we need wave 4. But again, it can erase divergence, and if it does, it just will keep extending. So, but right now it does look like it's in a critical area for Nvidia. Let's see here if there's any other things I want to point out. Someone asked me about BBAI. So BBAI, guys, so we have this 1, 2, 1, 2, and now we finished wave 3, right? Now we're in wave 4. So again, it should make one more high in a series of 3s, 4s, and 5s. So it's clearly the easy money is over. And the sad thing is, once this fifth wave finishes, right, then the correction can be really nasty, right? And I bet it will be something like that, like all of it's gone. So so something like that. So how high can it go, I think was the question. It's tough to say here. You'll have to use classic resistance. So I think it would come back to 674 and probably tag that level and then fail. Is just looking at the wave structure is probably where I'm looking at it for right now. And then this needs to play out for the rest of the rest of the year, and then we can project the wave 3 targets better. Now the other thing is this could become another 1, 2, right? And so we have to watch the RSI. So if you can get a deep reset of that 4-hour, then we would probably want to label that as another 1, 2, and that would change things. Then you should get to the $10 level at that point. So if it's if it's very bearish short term, that's great long term bullish. If it's too bullish short term and we get these 3s and 4s and dip buyers, then it's not going to be as bullish later. You'll have to be a lot more patient in it. So so that's the market, guys. So the market is still by the dip. I don't see the cycle ending just yet. Although we are in the Fibonacci danger areas, the Russell is not. So therefore, there's no reason. Sorry, I haven't updated my futures, but there's no reason to get too panicky. But just looking at this could still come down more. At least the Dow. Now, the other indices may rally better, but I mean, you may get something like this, right? Something like that, and then out of that, it'll be interesting to see what happens, and then of course the SPY, you know, we wanted to finish this. It's just not finished. It's just too many people are trying to top tick. What all these little dips are is just shorts to. I wanted to, oh, we're gonna, this is the top. No, oh, this is the top. No, this is the top. No, I mean it. This is it. No, I really mean it. This is the top. No, I'm serious. This is it. And here we are again. No, I'm not joking. I mean this. I'm going all in on puts, guy. Oh shit, I'm not. So this is, but these, every time it does that, it resets the cycle. It resets the cycle. It resets the cycle. And so they're just blowing their ammunition. They're car. They're playing their car, blowing it. So they would be better to let the market rip, sit back, and then come in with a bazooka later instead of wasting their ammunition here and here and here and here. And I believe if we come out of this and we take these highs out at the end of the week, I think if I was a short seller, I would say, yeah, I'm done selling. We're gonna let this thing really melt up, and then I'm gonna blow it up with a bazooka later, and I'm gonna save my firepower later for that, and really get a lot of people trapped on the long side. So that's probably how I would see it playing out. Again, looking at this market like poker and not chess. But a lot of people I know think you can outsmart this market, and that's what's been happening here. But the market is not, doesn't work like that, unfortunately. And I do believe today is another example of, you may have missed the dip at 3 o'clock. Like, I'm gonna wait for a dip in Apple, like someone's on TV and want to buy Apple at 150. You may have already missed the dip. The dip's over. Like, these dips they've come and they're gone before you blink. They're here and they're gone. So I have a feeling that this could be a similar situation. It came and now it's gone. And if you're waiting for that perfect dip or a real like oh, I want it down. I mean, it's just that I don't think it's going to happen until we get this real 3 of 3 action separation, and then we get this divergence erased here on the daily, on the 4-hour. Then you've got something there, and we're trading in my danger areas. When those conditions are all met, and then I would hope also the 10-year is also trading right around down here. When that happens, somewhere down here, and that 2-wave gets set, and then this dollar index is somewhere down in this area, maybe it breaks this low, or hell, maybe it can't break this low and we're actually in a new cycle higher and we just get this 3rd wave down. So like I think the market will have a nice opportunity to essentially crash, but this isn't it. This isn't it. Another thing to think about in the market is when we were in advance in 2020 and 21, we had a lot of these kind of sell-offs before we topped out. You have to go back in time, go back in history, and look at this chart, and you can see a lot of days, especially in this area, where we had some really nasty sell-offs here and here, and even like here and here and here and here, and you could see it, and here, all these nasty sell-offs, and then we finally got the 3 of 3 extension right there, the gap and run, and then we still had some more nasty sell-offs, and it just kept running higher, okay, until we finally topped. So this is really, if you look at this chart, it's like the first couple of times. I mean, we haven't really done anything yet. Like, it's still, we need that 3 of 3, and we don't have it. So I think market can keep extending, and we'll just see where this goes. I think it's a buyable dip. I think Apple, soon Tesla, some of these other stocks are going to hit areas that, will make the market, more bullish than it has been, and we'll keep an eye on it. Let's see how Google's doing. You have a 3-wave here. Looks like 3. So Google's in an area that could bounce, but then if it's a flat, like I have labeled it, it would still drop to 112. But if Google can make it to 112, and then this is done, this massive correction is finally over as well. So you can see we're not just starting corrections. We either just end it, we're finally ending them here, or we are finished and my labeling is off. There is no start. So like I'm showing some individual stocks that, you know, aren't starting a correction. They're finishing corrections that have been going on for a long time. So just keep that in mind. All right, guys, that's all I got. So good luck trading. Bye.